So let's move on. Next topic is constructor. First we'll see, then we'll go for inheritance. What is a constructor? So we were discussing a class can contain variables, methods, constructors, and blocks. But we don't know what is a constructor till now. I was giving little bit points, but today we'll discuss in detail. A constructor is a special type of method that is used to initialize the state of the object. What it will do, it's a kind of method only. It will initialize the objects. All objects are initialized because of constructor only. Even in the object line, I don't know whether you observed or not, new keyword after constructor is there. You are calling explicitly there constructor name, and Java constructor is invoked at the time of object creation. Basically, constructor constructs the values. That means it provides a data for the object. So objects means instance variables. Those values are constructed by this constructor. That's why we are calling this constructor. It is constructing the values for the object. Based on the data type, it will give you a values. What are the rules for creating a Java constructor? Constructor name must be same as its class name. Constructor must have no explicit return type. That means no void, no data type you should write in the constructor line. A Java constructor cannot be abstract, static, final, and synchronized. These keywords you should not use for the constructor. These are the rules while creating a constructor you should keep in mind. What are the types of Java constructors? Default constructor, parameterized constructor. Two types are there. So what is mean by default constructor? A constructor that has no parameters is known as a default constructor. The syntax of default constructor is access modifier, class name, parenthesis, curly braces start, logic plus statement. The method syntax and almost constructor syntax is same, but method is you are going to have a return type, but this constructor doesn't have a return type. And the constructor name is, you don't need to worry, whatever the class name is there, that's a constructor name, same as a constructor name. And parenthesis, no argument, right? That's what I tell you. No parameter in the parenthesis, then that is called default constructor. Suppose if there is no constructor in the class, by default compiler automatically creates one default constructor. Compiler automatically creates one default constructor. Till now that is what happened. Explicitly we didn't create a constructors. Then how we are calling non-static methods and non-static variables? Because of default constructor is created by the compiler automatically. That's why you're able to create object also. In the object line, new keyword after the class name parenthesis, that is the constructor. So that's the constructor syntax. And so how you will call the constructor, I will show you now. If a class has a default constructor, while creating object for the class, no need to provide any parameter values in the object line. That is what here. See that I'm not passing any values in the object line for constructor here. That empty parameters we are passing. This is the object line, right? We are familiar with this line, how to create object for the class. That's the default constructor. Next, so what is the purpose of default constructor? So it provides the default values to the object like 0, null, depending on the type, and it is going to provide default values. If it is a integer, you will get a 0 as a default value given to your instance variables. Only instance variables. Static context is not going to be used inside the constructors. And null for objects. If you are creating object global variable, the default value will be null. String also, default value will be null. We discussed in the variable types. Time that point. So the default values are provided by this default constructor. That is the purpose of default constructor. So parameterized constructor, a constructor that have parameters inside the parentheses. Then that constructor is called parameterized constructor. So the syntax is access modifier, class name, parenthesis, data type p1, comma, data type p2, and so on. How many parameters you want? And take parameters for this constructor. And logic plus statements. Again, body will be there. So body is common. Then why do you need a parameterized constructor? It's a very, very important point. I'll show you in the Selenium. We and all use this constructor, parameterized constructor. Every class has a parameterized constructor in Selenium. This topic is highly used topic in Selenium. And parameterized constructor is used to provide different values to the distinct objects. Suppose you want to give different values for different objects. Then this is the one option for you. You can use a constructor, parameterized constructor. So the other way is, how can you pass your instance variable values? Till yesterday we have seen through setter methods you can pass your instance variable values. Second way to pass your instance variable values is through parameterized constructor. These are the two ways you can pass your instance variable values at runtime. What is the first way? Through setter method. Call the setter method and give that variable value. So the second way is you create object, different object for each time, and different values you can set for your instance variables through parameterized constructor. That is the advantage of parameterized constructor. And so this is the point you need to understand. If a class has a parameterized constructor, while creating object for the class, need to provide parameter values. So I think you remember or not, we have a created already scanner class, scanner SC object equal to new scanner. I have given system.in as a parameter. So that is what this parameterized constructor, if you have a in the class, while creating object for the class, so class name reference variable equal to new class name, we are passing the parameter values here. How many parameters are there in your constructor? Those parameter values you need to pass, same as a method, right? While calling the method, here you are calling the constructor. That's why you're passing that parameter values. If you understand the parameterized methods, the same this also, the object line you're calling parameterized constructor. And that's what this parameterized constructor means. And next, last point, constructor overloading. So what is constructor overloading? Constructor overloading is a technique in Java which a class can have multiple constructors but with different parameters. So what is the difference here? A class can have multiple constructors, but every constructor has the same class name, right? We cannot give a different name. But a class can have multiple constructors, but different parameter list and data type. That is called constructor overloading. The compiler differentiates these constructors. How they will differentiate one constructor to another constructor? By taking into account the number of parameters in the list and their type. The number of parameters, the list and their type based on the data type and based on the number of parameters for each constructor. That will differentiate one constructor to another constructor. It is called constructor overloading. So that is what this constructor overloading means. What is constructor overloading? A class can have multiple constructors with different parameter list and data type. Parameter list only will change from one constructor to another constructor. That means first constructor, you don't give any parameters. That's a default constructor. Get one more constructor in the same class. And every constructor performs a different task. So every constructor purpose is different. It will do different tasks. Another constructor, create one more parameterized constructor with 2 parameters, and next constructor with 3 parameters, next constructor with 4 parameters, but constructor name is same. As I told you very clearly, a constructor name must be same as a class name. How many constructors you create, name must not change. Name must be same as a class name. Then will it throw a duplicate error? No. You change the parameters in the parentheses. That is called constructor overloading. And I'll show you all this constructor overloading in the Selenium, how widely used this topic. Every class has a constructor. So difference between constructor and method in Java. So Java constructor is used to initialize the state of an object. Method is used to write the behavior of an object. You write the behavior of an object in the method inside. Constructor must not have a return type, but method must have a return type. Constructor is invoked implicitly, but method you have to call, you have to invoke explicitly how to call. And the Java compiler provides a default constructor if you don't have any constructor. Method is not provided by any compiler in any case. Method is not provided by any compiler. You have to create your own method. But compiler will provide one default constructor. If you don't have any constructor in the class, compiler will create one default constructor internally. And constructor name must be same as the class name, but method name may or may not be same as the class name. So that's all about theory part. Let me show you how widely used this part. Every class of Selenium has a default or parameterized constructor. And I'll show you constructor overloading also. So go to selenium.dev, downloads, and if you want to see all the Selenium code and the default code, so you go to Java, under this section Selenium client and WebDriver language bindings, and choose Java and API docs. Click on API docs, and it will take you to the overview summary page. And here you have all different kinds of classes and interfaces already given here. Okay, so the first one is I want to show you. Yeah, you can see here now. So the class is Chrome driver, and you can come here and you can see the constructors How many constructors are there? Can you see here? Constructor. The first one is default constructor. See that? Class name. This is the class name. Chrome driver is the class name for Chrome browser. See the constructor, default constructor. Same as a class name, but no parameters. That's a first constructor. See that in the same class, one default constructor is created, then second one, Chrome driver, capabilities is the data type, and capabilities is the parameter. So another parameterized constructor they created. Next one, Chrome driver service. So here service is the parameter, but data type is Chrome driver service. Can you see these two constructors? Parameter is same. Parameter is one parameter only, but data type of the parameter is different. How these two are differentiated? Data type of your parameter. Capabilities parameter data type is capabilities. Service data type is Chrome driver service. This is the class. Chrome driver service is a class. Capabilities is another class, right? So different class also one data type. So same parameter is there, but at least parameter data type is different. Next one, see that. Next constructor. Chrome driver service, comma, capabilities. So two constructors and third constructor, fourth constructor is having two parameters. How it is differentiating from above this constructor? Because two parameters are there. Two parameters are there here. And next one, see that next constructor, Chrome driver service, Chrome options. Chrome options is there. Chrome options, another two parameters. How it is different, this constructor and this constructor? By parameter. At least one parameter data type is different here. Second parameter options data type is Chrome options, but here capabilities data type is capabilities. Next one is that Chrome driver, Chrome options. See how many constructors are there in this class? All are differentiated by the parameter list and parameter data type. Now this doesn't have a construct parameters. That's why this is called default constructor. So this has a parameter, one parameter, but this has also one parameter, but thing is the parameter data type is different. That's why constructor can understand. So when you are giving this service of type Chrome driver service, then this constructor will be called for you. If you call this constructor, but you have to give one parameter as a Chrome driver service, another one is capabilities. And if you are calling this constructor, one parameter you have to give as a Chrome driver service, another one is Chrome options class you have to give. Another one, this is the Chrome options is another one, another class. This is the another class, and this is the called constructor overloading. Why it is called constructor overloading? A class contains more than one constructor in the class, but parameter list is different and the data type is different. That's why this is called constructor overloading. Are we clear? Or any questions here? Here also you can see that. So only one default constructor only you have here. Only default constructor only you have here in the Chrome options. So this is the how you can catch all the points. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
Say Chrome driver service. Another class Chrome driver service. This is the class, and this also has a constructor. At least one default constructor will be there. See that this has a parameterized constructor. You can see here file executable, int port, immutable, so args, and another one immutable map to environment you can pass. So this is the constructor and description for that. This is the different types of constructors every class is going to have, right? So this is how constructors will be created. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll directly jump into the programs. So how to create these constructors, I'll show you now. I'll take a simple example so that you can understand how to create the constructors. So before jumping onto the program, any questions theoretically?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So new class, yeah, student class I'm creating. So just assume that we are going to create a student properties. I'll just take student properties. I'm not going to pass the values. I can create any student object, right? I can pass values later. So one way is through setter methods. These instance variable values you can set. The other way is through parameterized constructor. Like this, you can create any kind of number of variables for these variable values. And now I didn't pass. So default values will be 0, null will be there. For a string, null only, default value, because string is one kind of object. Now string is a class, right? That's why so default value will be null. Now first I'm creating a default constructor. What is a default constructor syntax? Access modifier, class name. So what is our class name here?
Students.
Student is our class name. So access modifier, you can use anyone, right? I'll use private. Same as a class name. You don't need to change a single letter also, your constructor name. Then I'm just writing. So this is student default constructor. So this part will be invoked when you create object for the class. You don't need to call the constructor explicitly. Okay. And I'll create one more method to display the student details. Display details. So this is the method I'm going to create. I can call those values, right? Started executing display details method. Just call this and then print the student name, student ID. ID is plus ID. Student name is. I can call non-static variable in the non-static methods directly. Is it clear? Or anybody having doubt? Non-static data I can use in the non-static methods directly. There is no object needed for that. So this is what I did. Now let's create object. What will happen? What are the values are there? So create object for the class. Because you are not passing any values. So what will happen now? So student s equal to new student. So now see that I'm not going to call the anything. Just see this constructor part is going to execute automatically because you already called here constructor. That's why constructor part will invoke automatically. You don't need to call explicitly. This part is available where? In the default constructor inside. It's executed automatically. Now with this object reference, call display details method. Then what will happen? You see that. What are the values of ID, name, branch? What is the student ID? 0. Student name, null. Student branch, null. So this, who is constructing these default values? This default constructor is constructing. So here you are not passing any values. That's why default constructor is constructing those values. Then how can I give values for my ID, name, and branch? So this is the one. So let's create a parameterized constructors. Parameterized constructor. So public. What is a parameterized constructor? Syntax. So let me write again. I don't want to confuse everywhere. We are going to follow the syntaxes. So I'll take 2 parameters here. That's why 2 parameters I have taken. Public. What is the class name? Student. First I'll pass int ID. String name I'll pass. These 2 values I'm going to pass So now can you see here? Instance variable name and parameter name is same. Instance variable name, parameter name is same. And what I told you. Now how can I pass this parameter value to this instance variable? This dot id equal to id. So this dot name equal to name. This is the one thing we have to do. So I'm setting these id and name instance variable values through my parameterized constructor. That's one simple logic I written. Now let's create object for this second constructor. I'm calling now second constructor by creating object. You just create object, that's it. Another object you have to create. Student s1 equal to new student. So why I need to pass values for this here? Because and this has a parameterized constructor. So why I'm passing in the object line itself, I'm passing because this class has a parameterized constructor. That's why I'm passing parameter values. So these value, id value and name value, I'm passing here in the object line itself. Now you call s1 dot student display details. See that it is. See that now before it was a 0. Now 123 and Razu and branch value we didn't pass it. So here we passed only so id value and so name value. That's why it is filled id with this object. This object address is different and this object address is different. This object all 0 null is so stored, but in this object so id value is 123, name value is Razu and branch value is null only. So that's the parameterized constructor I created. I'm passing my own values. And you create one more object, you can pass your own values. That's the advantage with the parameterized constructor. You create another object and pass it. See that I will create one more object for the same constructor. Student s3 equal to s2 equal to new student, and you give. See that I can give different data. I can give different data. I can give. So now this time this object is different. This memory address is different. In this memory address, 45 for ID and name is going to have a Ramesh and branch is going to have null. This is another thing. So each object you can pass a different values. That's the advantage with the parameterized constructor, right? So any doubts here? Now, can you observe here? This is the one constructor. This is the second constructor. So how these two are differentiating? Name is same. Name is same. Constructor name is same. How can you say this is a constructor? Observe. The class name and constructor name is same and doesn't have any return type. No void, no data type, nothing. Directly access modifier, class name, parenthesis, and method format is there again. Body will be there. Again, here no parameters. That's why this is a default constructor. That's how we can easily identify constructor. If anything with a class name and with a access modifier and a class name with parenthesis, then that is the constructor for that class. Now another constructor I'm going to create. So now 3 parameterized constructor I'm creating, but I already developed this constructor. So ID and name value already developed here logic. Do you need to write again duplicate? No. What you can do, you can call this constructor in this constructor. So another point I'm covering here. How can you call one constructor in another constructor? So yesterday I told you about this keyword. This keyword will be used to invoke one constructor in another constructor in the same class. So now I want to call this parameterized constructor. So just write invoking the parameterized constructor. using this keyword. Now this is so you have to write like this parenthesis and write the parameters id value. What is id? Here parameter is there, id, just pass id and name. So this is called constructor calling. One constructor you are calling and another constructor with this keyword. So I don't need to write this logic again because I already developed here. I'm consuming here in another constructor. So then I left only branch. Branch I will develop here. So this dot branch equal to branch. This is the how you can do that. Okay. Any questions here? Now I'll create object for 3 parameterized constructor. 3 parameterized constructor. So student s3 equal to new student. I'm calling 3 parameterized constructor so that I can pass these different values. Okay, done. See that I can pass my own values every time in the object line itself. You can pass your own values at runtime. You are setting your variable values at runtime through parameterized constructor. So the another way is through setter method, but this using constructor you are setting. So that's this thing s3 dot display details. Now see that. So id value 78, name value Raghu, and branch is ECE. So this object is different again, right? This object is different. Another object will create in the heap memory, and the values you are setting through parameterized constructor. So this is called parameterized constructor. Now you see that all 3 values. So this is the constructor called. This logic is called here. So you set whatever the id value you are setting. You are setting that is assigned to this instance variable. Whatever the name value you set, that is assigning to instance variable value. And see that how we invoked one constructor in another constructor using this keyword you're using. How we are referring the instance variable with this keyword. So this is this keyword advantage. Okay. So let's see that 3 constructors we have now. 1, 2, 3. All are differentiating by parameter list. So that's the constructor part. Any questions?
Ramesh.
No, sir.
No, sir.